Welcome back to the channel. Here you'll find the fastest updates on breaking news, shocking secrets, and dramatic predictions for times. The young and the restless. Who will betray whom? What secrets are about to be revealed? And what horrific tragedy awaits the characters in Genoa City? Subscribe, turn on notifications, and join us to discover the unmissable developments right now. Hey guys, welcome back to the blog. Today is just another wild day in the soap world, and honestly, I am exhausted, but I could not sleep without talking about this. Let's get right into the madness, and I mean absolute, unadulterated madness. You guys know I have been covering this show for a long time, and I have seen some crazy things happen in Genoa City. I've seen fake deaths, evil twins, people coming back from the dead, and more corporate takeovers than I can even count. But this latest twist with Billy Abbott, it has completely broken my brain. I am sitting here staring at my screen, typing as fast as my fingers will let me before my deadline, and I am still struggling to process what the writers just dropped on us. So let's back up for a second and talk about how we got here, because the buildup was just as insane as the payoff. A few episodes ago, Jill Abbott dropped the mother of all bombshells. She looked Billy dead in the eye and told him that Victor Newman was his biological father. Victor Newman, the mustache himself, the man who has been the mortal enemy of the Abbott family for decades. When that happened, social media absolutely exploded. The fans on social media were losing their collective minds, and honestly, so was I. We all thought it was a classic soap opera retcon, a way to tie Billy permanently to the Newman Empire and create maximum drama. And for a hot minute, it actually seemed like they were going to run with it. Victor, in a rare moment of vulnerability, actually started to accept Billy. He started to open his heart, or whatever is left of it, to the idea that this chaotic, gambling-addicted mess of a man was his own flesh and blood. But Billy didn't buy it. And honestly, can you blame him? Billy has always had this gut instinct, this internal radar that tells him when he's being played. He felt something was wrong. Deep down in his bones, he just knew that the blood of Victor Newman was not running through his veins. So what does Billy do? He does what Billy always does. He goes rogue. He starts sneaking around, acting paranoid, and he decides to take matters into his own hands. He secretly conducts a second DNA test, but he doesn't just test himself against Victor again. No, he goes straight to the source of his entire identity. He gets a DNA sample from Jack Abbott. Let's just pause right here and think about the logistics of this. Billy sneaking around the Abbott mansion, maybe swiping Jack's coffee cup or a hair from his comb while Jack is still recovering from being stabbed by Patty Williams. It's so messy. It's so perfectly Billy. And the waiting period? Oh my God, the tension was palpable. You could see the sweat on Billy's forehead. Sally Spectra is standing right there, heavily pregnant, already dealing with the stress of Chelsea spreading rumors about Adam being the father of her baby, and now she has to watch Billy pace a hole in the floor waiting for these secret DNA results. It was a ticking time bomb, and then the results came back. Jack Abbott is Billy's biological father. Let me repeat that, because I need to hear it out loud again to believe it. Jack Abbott is Billy's father. What were they thinking? I mean, seriously, who actually believes this is going to end well? The man Billy has called his brother his entire life. The man who guided him, fought with him, hated him, loved him, and protected him. That man is his dad. His brother is his father. It is just so gross and so fascinating all at the same time. If you know your Genoa City history, you know that Jack and Jill had a disgusting, scandalous affair back in the day while Jill was married to John Abbott. It broke John's heart. It destroyed the family for a long time. But we never, ever thought that affair resulted in Billy. John Abbott raised Billy. John Abbott loved Billy. And now John's legacy is completely shattered because his own son slept with his wife and created Billy. It makes my skin crawl, but okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. It is peak soap opera drama, and I am here for it, even if I feel like I need a shower. But let's talk about the fallout, because the fallout is going to be biblical. Let's start with Victor. Poor, ruthless Victor Newman. How often do we actually feel sorry for Victor? Almost never. But in this case, maybe I'm being too harsh, but you have to feel a tiny bit of sympathy for the guy. He was just starting to accept Billy. He was actually letting his guard down, thinking he had another son to mold and manipulate and love in his own twisted Newman way. And now he finds out it was all a lie. The shock on Victor's face was award-winning. He was completely stunned. And then the betrayal set in. Victor Newman does not handle betrayal well. He feels deeply, profoundly betrayed, not just by Jill, but by the universe. He opened his doors to an Abbott, and it blew up in his face. You know, he is going to retaliate. He is going to unleash a hellfire on the Abbott family that we haven't seen in years. The mustache is going to be twitching with pure rage for the next 6 months. And what about Jack? Oh my God, Jack Abbott. Jack is already lying in a hospital bed, recovering from a literal stab wound from Patty Williams. He's dealing with Diane's trauma, the whole Martin Laurent kidnapping mess, the corporate wars, and now this. Jack finds out that his little brother, the guy he has bailed out of trouble 1,000,000 times, is actually his son. How do you even process that? Jack has always tried to be the patriarch of the family since John died, but this rewrites his entire existence. He is a father again to a grown man who is currently spiraling out of control. Jack is going to have a massive identity crisis of his own. Will he feel guilty? Will he feel responsible for all of Billy's screw-ups? Jack is going to be a mess. Total chaos. And then there is Jill. Oh, Jill. What a disaster. She is currently drowning in regret. Why did she lie in the first place? Did she honestly believe Victor was the father? Or was she just trying to hurt Jack? Or maybe she was trying to protect John's memory? I don't even know anymore. Sometimes I change my mind about Jill halfway through an episode, and I'll admit it, she is exhausting. But right now, she has to face the music. She has to look Jack in the eye and admit that she kept his son from him. She has to look Billy in the eye and admit that his entire life is built on a lie she created. Jill is going to be a pariah in Genoa City for a while. The Abbott family is never going to forgive her for this. So the families are in absolute chaos. The Newman and Abbott families are at war again, but this time it's personal. It's genetic. Victoria Newman is going to lose her mind. She shares children with Billy. How does she explain this to Johnny and Katie? Hey kids, your Uncle Jack is actually your grandpa now. It's so messy. Just a complete and utter train wreck. And Kyle Abbott has been strutting around town trying to take down Victor, and now he finds out Billy is his half-brother. The family tree isn't a tree anymore. It's a tangled pile of weeds. And right in the middle of this hurricane is Billy. Billy Abbott is standing at the biggest crossroads of his entire life. He is reeling. He was already on the verge of a massive relapse. We saw him hitting the gambling tables. We saw the drugs. We saw the reckless behavior after that violent brawl with Adam. Billy's mind was already fragile. And now this truth bomb drops right on his head. Who is he? Is he an Abbott? Yes, but he's not John's son. He's Jack's son. The psychological damage this is going to do to Billy is immeasurable. He has to choose a path now. Does he lean into Jack? Does he let Jack be a father to him? Or does he pull away, keeping his distance because the pain and the betrayal are just too much to handle? Billy has always resented Jack's perfection, Jack's golden boy status. Now he has to look up to him as a father. I honestly don't know if Billy has the mental strength to survive this without completely crashing and burning. And we cannot forget Sally Spectra in all of this. Sally is pregnant. She is carrying Billy's child. She has been desperately trying to hold Billy together, terrified that he is going to destroy his life again. She intervened in that fight with Adam. She watched Billy get knocked unconscious, and she has been living in a state of pure panic. Now, she finds out her baby isn't Victor Newman's grandchild, but Jack Abbott's grandchild. Sally's exhausted. I am exhausted just watching her be exhausted. She just wants a safe, happy family, and Billy keeps dragging her into these massive, earth-shattering scandals. If Billy goes off the deep end because of this Jack revelation, Sally might just pack her bags and leave. She has to protect her baby. She lost Ava. She cannot lose this child to the chaos of the Abbott and Newman feud. Sometimes you just have to zoom out and look at the bigger pattern here. The writers love to torture Billy Abbott. They really do. Every time he gets a little bit of stability, they pull the rug out from under him. But this storyline feels different. It feels heavier. It rewrites decades of show history. It taints the memory of John Abbott, who was the moral compass of this show for so long. It changes the dynamic of the Jack and Billy rivalry forever. They aren't just brothers fighting over a company or a woman anymore. They are father and son dealing with a legacy of lies. I'm just rambling now, but my brain is spinning. What is Victor going to do to retaliate? Victor is not going to just sit back and let Jack have this victory, even if it's a messy victory. Victor hates Jack more than anything. The fact that Jack gets to keep Billy and Victor loses him is going to drive Victor insane. I wouldn't be surprised if Victor uses Matt Clark or Patty Williams to exact some kind of twisted revenge on the Abbotts because of this. Victor is going to burn Genoa City to the ground. So what do you guys think? Are you as shocked as I am? Did anyone actually see this coming, or were we all blinded by the Victor Newman misdirection? I have to give the writers credit. They played us. They played us good, but now they have to deal with the fallout, and I hope they don't rush it. I want to see the tears. I want to see the screaming matches. I want to see Jack and Billy lock themselves in a room and hash out 30 years of brotherly resentment that just turned into daddy issues. I need more coffee. I need to lie down. But I'll be watching tomorrow, just like you guys, because this train is off the tracks and we can't look away. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you back here for the next recap.